A couple of guys couldn't practice today. Max, Jamil Pollard, Savon Huggins. We're hoping to have those guys back Thursday, possibly Saturday at the latest. I'll have an update about them Thursday after practice. I'll give Jay a heads up beforehand so you know who will be out there. The other comment I guess today will be we're really excited to head down to Long Branch and Rooney's on Friday. And we'll do our press conference, our spring press conference from there, from the shore. And I think it'll be a great opportunity for us to have a little more conversation about what's going to happen during the spring game and some of the help efforts that I think can happen that day. Questions?
How much of the offense do you have installed right now?
I would say right now, with today's install, about 90 to 95% of the offense is in. And I think what that created today, Tuesday's our heavy install day, and it created a little bit of a sloppy play on the offensive side of the ball. I think Thursday there will not be an install for the offense on Thursday. We'll be able to clean up some of the mental errors, and I think have a much cleaner, crisper practice on Thursday.
What opportunity is it for Desmond Peoples right now with Savon and PJ out?
It's a great opportunity for Des, and you know, Des continues to be a guy who's hard to get your hands on. He's slippery. He's got excellent change of direction. I thought he had a good day today. I think there's still some things he's struggling with as a young player. He's not always lining up in the right spot and lining up at even when he's in the right spot, he's not necessarily in the exact spot we want him to be in. But those are all the growing pains of a young running back out there in this offense with the multiplicity of formations.
With the depth of running back now, a couple guys being down, is there any thought of moving someone else over there, maybe DeLon Stevenson or something?
No, I don't think so. I think what you saw today is the direction we're going in right now. Michael Burton had an opportunity to carry the ball a little bit today. Dante had an opportunity to carry the ball a little bit today. We've got some more coming in the fall. So, you know, we got to still continue to sort out that secondary. You know, we don't have a lot of proven players there, so I think it's important that DeLon is there competing for a job.
Well, Kyle, talking about the secondary, what about Thomas? Or what have you seen from him so far this spring?
Ian is getting a little bit better at learning the details of his position. You know, what we have seen are flashes of a really athletic guy with excellent ball skills, which we knew he was when we recruited him as a receiver. He's got some good natural ability to backpedal, to flip his hips, to run as a defensive back, but I think the finer points of playing that position, he gets a little bit closer every day, but we got a long way to go as well.
Kyle, does the defensive line look like the most experienced group on defense when you're out there watching them?
I think the defensive line and the linebackers, you know, with Kevin and Jamal out there at linebacker, even with a younger guy in the middle, that front seven, they play like an experienced group, and they should. And Steven's doing a good job, as well as Quanzell working his way in, and LJ Liston. All three of those young linebackers are fitting into their roles and are going to give us some depth as we get into the season. But I would agree with what you said. I think they do.
What have you seen from the receivers?
I think I see guys that are trying to find their role in this offense, and they've showed sporadic plays of really high-level football. I don't know if we're catching the ball as consistently as we need to. I'm hoping that now that the install is primarily finished for the most part, that now they can really focus on the fundamentals of playing their position and hopefully catching the ball just a little bit more consistently. That'll be part of that.
Would you like to know who your number 2 is by the end of spring?
The number 2.
The number 2 wide receiver behind Brandon?
Oh, I don't think of it like that. I think at that position it's a little bit like D-line. We're going to play 6 players probably in the rotation of the game, and certainly Brandon Coleman, with what he's been able to do the last couple of years, will have a significant role in that and will get his opportunities to catch the ball during the game. But whether or not we have a definitive number 2, you know, I remember a couple of years ago I was here and we had Kenny Britt, Taekwon Underwood, and Timmy Brown, and in any given game, any of the 3 could have been 1, 2, or 3. And I'm hoping that's the direction we're moving in here.
How do you think Carlton is fair during spring?
Agudosi. I think much like Leonte and much like Ruhan and the other receivers out there, I think there have been times where I look out there and I see him catch the ball and run, and he looks like an excellent football player, and then other times I just don't think we're catching the ball as consistently as we should at that position. But I think that'll come. I think there's a lot of thinking going on right now, and anytime there's a lot of thinking, it slows down your reactions.
What about Leonte, and just speaking to him individually?
It's hard for me to speak about him individually.
Okay.
I love him as an individual. Yeah, I just
I mean as a player. I'm sorry, I didn't mean as.
As a player,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Leonte is going to be an excellent football player for us. I think it's going to be sooner than later. I don't know exactly when it's going to be, but I can't tell you I feel any differently about Ruhan Peel or Carlton Agadosia. I think we've got some receivers coming that are going to be able to play at a high level. Unfortunately, when we get back here in the fall in August, we're also going to have Brandon Coleman running around, and I think that's going to make everybody look better.
Kyle, what kind of improvements have you seen out of Gary Nova this spring?
I think at that position, all of those quarterbacks have taken another step. I think Coach Prince has challenged the offense this spring. He's challenged the entire offense with the volume that he's carrying. He has installed essentially the entire offense, with very little exceptions, in the first 10 practices here. So I think they've stepped up to the challenge, and I think even young guys like Chris Laviano, Mike Bamonte, Blake Rankin, they have gotten better over the first 3 weeks. It's what I thought it would be in that room. From Gary to Chase, all the way down to Chris as the youngest guy in that room, an extremely intelligent, extremely competitive room, both mentally and physically. And with the challenges Coach Prince has put in front of them as an offense, they've done a good job of meeting them.